Coming in, flex. I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again, State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action, I'm active. If he never heard of Ben, dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell him, most Cialis flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, I came in. Did it like the Porsches. Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10, 10, 10, coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again, State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action, I'm active. If he never heard of Ben, dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell him, most Cialis flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, I came in. Did it like the Porsches. Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10, 10, 10,
What's good? What's good?
What up? What up? What up?
What's
Man.
up, my brothers? How y'all doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I've been ripping and running all day.
It's a beautiful,
Nice to be back with y'all, man.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes,
Cinco de Mayo
indeed.
Wednesday, man. Well,
Did you go get
Welcome
drunk,
back,
Oneil?
man.
Did you go get drunk, or you trying to stay sober? Talk about it.
man, I've been working all day. My girl did ask to bring back some tequila, though.
Ooh,
I forgot to bring it, though.
It's crazy, man. I was supposed to go get drunk. You know what I mean? We supposed to be. You know, my girl was like, we ain't gonna go get no margaritas. You know, they was selling them for like $1, man. A lot of places, bro.
Oh yeah, y'all in Houston.
You know, we're in Texas, bro. You gotta put some respect on the Mexican restaurants out here, bro. You gotta put some
no.
respect.
I don't even
bro.
drink like that, but I might go get me a margarita just for that. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts, man. You know, we don't play out here, man, in the H, man, when it comes to the drinks, man. But you know,
y'all don't.
70.
Y'all don't.
absolutely. Now, we don't have the rules and regulations of Louisiana, though. Louisiana got no rules when it comes to liquor.
You get liquor any day, any time.
Straight up. Oh, there ain't no cutoff?
Oh, bro.
Dollar stores, grocery stores, corner stores.
Dollar stores.
Bro.
Yeah, dollar stores sell liquor. Like Family Dollar?
Oh, come on, bro. Like, when you can go and pick up some liquor from the Family Dollar, bro, hey, man, you know you in Sodom and Gomorrah.
He said Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yo, I love it, man. But, man, we talking about something today, man, that I think is it's an important topic. Because we talking about somebody who was able to retire at the tender age of 33.
That's young.
That's young, man. And to be able to say you can retire, I mean, that's special.
Big facts.
That's good. That is. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then we got Josh.
And I'm feeling nosy. I'm feeling nosy.
So we're going to get down into it and see how he retired at this young age of 33.
Yes,
so tonight we got Mr. Josh Jennings, straight from Carolina, going to drop the game on us. Me and his brother, we've been cool since 2018, but we never met in person.
Wow.
So we're going to make that change this year in 2021. Man, I got to meet my bro in person. We be sharing game back and forth, showing love on Instagram. So, man, I'm just happy to talk to you tonight. Know more about your story. Let the world know about your story. So, man, let's just welcome Josh, man. Come on, Josh.
Yes,
What up, Josh?
What's good? What's good?
What's people?
Man,
What's
we
happening?
Hey, you know, hey, Mama, I've made it now, man. I've made it. I've been one of the hottest real estate podcasts, you know what I'm saying, in the nation. I've made it now, baby.
Oh man, we working it, man. Man, so what's going on, man? So Josh, tell me a little bit about who is Josh, man? Where is Josh from? Where you grew up? What was that upbringing like? Let's just break down for the matter of fact, before you even do that, everybody, if you listening right now, go ahead and hit that like button and let us know what hood you coming from, what you representing. But before you type in where you from, go ahead and hit that like button. It's just that simple. Just hit that like button because Josh gonna break down some tremendous amounts of game, right? And we want to make sure that we honor him correctly, right? With 0% stingy energy. So let's go ahead and hit that like button right now and let us know where you coming from. And Josh, back to you, King.
Yes, sir.
Speak on where does Josh come from? Can you give us that backstory on what that childhood looked like?
Man, Josh was the only child. Mom had 5 miscarriages.
Wow.
Actually, when I was in 11th grade, my mom gave birth to 2 stillborn twin sisters of mine, and just having to sit there and watch them on the table and die, you know. So make a long story short, man, I was just the only child growing up my whole life. Had great parents, but you know, dealing with the fact of having no brothers, no sisters, that, you know, that taught you how to be strong, how to defend for yourself, you know, and made you grow up a little bit quicker.
Wow. They say, man, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that only childs can be selfish. Is that true, man? Tell the truth.
I think so. Yeah, man, it is true. It is true. And you know, and it gradually go away when you get older. But yeah, when you're younger, yeah, you very selfish, man.
Yeah, you like, man, I need all my toys. These are all belong to me. See.
Exactly.
So as you grew up, like, so what got you into entrepreneurship? Was this something that maybe your parents instilled into you? Like, how did you say, hey, I want to go and, you know, be a business owner and figure stuff out on my own?
Right, man. I was 7 years old, and my dad and my mom, pretty much, but I say my dad, they introduced me to the real estate investing game. I was 7 years old.
At 7?
My dad, my mom, and my, you know,
Wow.
8, 9 years old. I had a mobile home park. Really, still there in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Let's get it.
Wow. Yo.
Oh,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure
so
Byron got all kind of
that
questions
was
about
that
that.
was the yeah, man, that was the foundation. That was the whole foundation of being able to see my dad and mom buy properties for dirt cheap at the time, $13,000, $15,000, seeing them rack up on rental properties. And that was me growing up, daddy pulling me out the house saying, hey, help me fix this leak. Hey, help me fix this leak. Just seeing the worst side of real estate investing as far as walking in properties where your tenants done left out, seeing maggots in the refrigerator, all that type of stuff. So
Sheesh.
that's why I think I had a different eye of looking at real estate compared to just a normal person. Because I grew up looking at, the dark side, the nasty side of real estate investing.
So that's a
Wow.
blessing. That's a blessing because when I look at parenting, that to me in my mind, that's the way it's supposed to be done. So it sounds like your folks
Right.
did it right.
Facts.
To
Right.
me,
And only
Man.
they did a great job. They did a great job. But the only thing about what they did was they worked hard every year and then they bought a property. They worked hard every year and then they bought a property. So they started off with mobile homes, buying mobile homes, buying mobile homes. Then that's when the whole Josh's Mobile Home Park was established. Then they started buying, single family brick homes. And that's when I saw them buying those brick homes for, dirt cheap prices. And I was like, man, that's amazing. That's pretty amazing. So, but I was playing sports coming up. Played baseball, basketball, football. My junior year in high school, I was the number one right hand pitcher in the state of South Carolina. Um,
Wow.
Left there, went to Middle Georgia College. And basically, my senior year in high school, I hurt my shoulder. Got surgery my first year in college. They didn't redshirt me. I continued to stay on the team. The second year, I played a little bit. My shoulder still was bothering me. My shoulder pretty much bothered me my whole college career. So I dropped out of college. Going into my junior year, I dropped out altogether, and then I started playing independent baseball. That's professional baseball as well. But started playing pro ball. Played in Long Beach Armada. I played with Long Beach Armada. Played in Long Beach, California for about a year. Played in Fort Worth, Texas, with the Fort Worth Cats they have down there. Played with them for about a year. Then played in Missouri for a year, and after that, that's when I was stuck to the point of basically the area where all athletes get stuck at. What do you do now? What do I do now with my life? You know. So I went from there to working dead end jobs in Atlanta because at the point I was I don't want to go back to South Carolina. I felt like, oh man, I don't want to go back right now. I'm gonna feel like a failure. So anyway, I stayed in Atlanta, Georgia, with my cousin. Um, Stayed there about 2 years, and working dead end jobs, getting nothing done. To the point where he said, "Hey, well, you're gonna have to start paying some rent." And I just tuck it in, went and stayed with my mom and dad. Got a pretty good little job down there. So I
he
was at
said,
the
"I ain't
point
paying no
then where I'm
rent."
like,
Yeah, he ain't paying no rent.
yeah, man, I ain't paying no rent, man. I can't pay no rent. I'm already struggling.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I left there. Then I moved back to my home, my mom and dad. Stayed with my mom and dad. Worked at a manufacturer job for a little while, and from that point, I got fired from that job. I met a young lady, which is my wife now. She was staying in another part of South Carolina. Um, and basically I wanted to get away from, my hometown because I felt like I wasn't excelling enough like I was supposed to. So basically I moved in, stayed with her. She was on Section 8. She's a hairdresser, so of course you know how that goes.
Yeah.
They don't report all their
They ain't
income, so
reporting
they
Yeah,
nothing.
still going to
yeah,
be,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So she was still, she was on
Double
Section 8.
dipping. She was double dipping.
Yeah,
Okay.
making good money as
Facts.
a hairdresser, but reporting nothing on the tax return. You know how that goes. But anyway,
Nice.
so she was doing that, and I was staying with her, and we had well, she got pregnant then, and we had a child, and it just got to the point where I say, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I knew I had better in me, but I just didn't know what angle, what direction I wanted to go. So my dad used to always say, hey, look, well, you can just become a maintenance man. So to become a maintenance man, you have to go to college to become a maintenance man for 2 years. So that's what I did. I needed some type of outlet because I'm stuck. I'm hurt. Feelings hurt. I'm feeling like I'm not worth nothing. And I need something to at least get me started. So I went to college. And while I was in college, I was working at Advanced AutoZone and along with running a paper route at night. So I ran the newspaper route. So I had 3 jobs, and I told my girlfriend at the time, I don't know if she was my fiance or my girlfriend at the time then, she's my wife now. But at that time, I told her, I said, baby, look, we're not going to celebrate no more birthdays. We're not going to celebrate no more Christmas. We're not going out. We're not going to the club. We're not doing anything, birthdays, anything. None of that stuff exists no more. We're going to focus now on trying to sacrifice for a better future. So what I started doing was saving $300 a week. Now, mind you, the little money that I was making, I probably had maybe $165 left over to get me to the next week. Ooh. But I promised myself, and I told myself, I promised myself and told myself, look, man, this is what you're going to have to do, regardless. And I must say, she stuck by my side. I started saving $300 a week. I started $300, went to $5,000. It's more than I ever had in my life at the time. 5,000 went to, 10,000, and it continued to grow. So within 1 year, I was able to save around $22,000. I'm in class. I'm in class. Listen to my professor. Now I'm on a website called auction.com. I'm on auction.com looking at a property that I looked at last week because now I got enough money saved. So I'm pretty comfortable that I might can get a property from auction.com. So I'm looking, the professor is teaching, and I'm on the auction while the professor is teaching. I'm in class. So while the professor is teaching, I'm bidding. I won my first property that I ever won a bid on in my life for $9,500 with a $2,500 buyer's premium. The property had tore up walls, tore up ceilings. I mean, it was just a mess, but it was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. So I'm seeing the bigger picture. Sheetrock don't cost that much. I can get the sheetrock replaced. The ceiling in the bathroom was all torn out because they pulled all the electrical wiring out the house. So at the same time, I'm saying, okay, well, I can get that replaced. I got enough money now. I don't know how much guaranteed that I'm gonna get more money or a better deal than this. At least I'm starting with something at $9,500. So got it fixed up. It probably took me maybe another $16,000 to fix the whole house up. So I got the house fixed up. I'm right now back on broke mode again. I use all my money I saved up. I'm back on broke mode. But I don't mind that because at this point, I have a property now that I'm getting $700 a month from, along with me doing the same thing that I did last year on the paper route every night, not missing a day, grinding, sacrificing, calling my buddies, saying, hey, man, what y'all got going on? Man, we in the strip club. We having a good time, man. Look at all these girls in here, man. This and that, the third. Hey, man, you over there running the paper route, man. You running the paper route, man.
Yeah.
So, I had to deal with that, and I had to deal with just so much when it came to the sacrifice and the grind. But anyway, did the same thing the next year, was able to save about $23,000. I still had the rental property bringing me $700 a month. I still was saving $300 a week, and I was getting the student refund check along with that. That was about $1,300, maybe a quarter or something like that. So I was putting that on top of that as well. So I just kept stacking everything, still living off my like $160 something a week, trying to survive. Now my fiance at the time, fiance, girlfriend, whatever, she was on food stamps, so we were able to eat on the food stamps. So that saved a lot. The Section 8 housing payment isn't that much, so I really had not too much expenses. It just was the mind frame and the mindset that I had to sacrifice, because I knew at that time this was the most important time of my life 26 years old. That was like the most important time in my life to be able to get it together, because believe it or not, my mom and dad, they never gave me one penny towards real estate investing. Now they got a lot of
Wow.
properties, but right now I thank them so much because I understand the sacrifice and the grind that it took in order for me to be able to get in this position.
Wow.
So to go back, I used to beg them. My wife will tell you, I used to beg them and say, hey, look, mom, dad, y'all give me one property. I get one property. I'll be able to cash out refinance. Can y'all just give me one property at least? Then I can get started. No, maybe they didn't think I was mature enough at the time. I don't know. But they never gave me not one dime towards real estate investing. So anyway, we go back to second year, my second property from the local foreclosure auction for $21,000. Bought that property for $21,000, got the property fixed up, put another tenant in that property. That property making me $800 a month. I have two properties now. So I'm thinking to myself, it's got to be a better way. It's got to be a better way for me going broke every year in order for me to be able to buy a property. So that's when I stumbled across the cash out refinance. So with the cash out refinance, I was able then to do a cash out refinance on both of those properties. I was able to put $125,000, $130,000 in my pocket, use that money, and went and bought four more foreclosed properties. Bought them all cash, and that's when the BRRRR strategy began. I was able to cash out refinance all properties at the same time, and then it was over, and I continued to build, continued to grow my portfolio, year in and year out. And then I never started off fixing and flipping properties. This was something that I probably started maybe three years ago, fixing and flipping properties. I was just solely on buying and holding, everything. But when I buy it, I was able to get 75% of the equity, put that in my pocket, use that for either a down payment or to use that to buy another property all cash. And that's just how I was able to grow.
Wow.
Wow, bro. Man, hey, bro. Like you, listen, man. Start dropping them fire signs. Because if y'all heard that story, for one thing, I'm gonna tell you like what I love, and I think if you got any athletes on here, I call it. I remember listening to Eric Thomas and CJ, and they was talking about it's kind of that syndrome, whereas after playing sports, you kind of got you used to, what's next, right? You used to being the man, like you're not the man no more. And then I understand like the sacrifice that you truly had to make because, like you said, you went from playing in California to
signing
Dallas.
Autographs. Went from signing autographs to not having a job.
Whoa.
Wow. That would have broke a lot of people, but that showed the perseverance you got. So my question is, I know you said, you talked about how your parents, was doing real estate. And then even though, you chose the path to go to sports and you was trying to do like, what really, really sparked your curiosity to be like, yo, real estate is it for me?
Well, to be honest with you, then I realized I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go but to become a maintenance man, and I didn't want to become a maintenance man because I was already on the job, going to a manufacturing plant along with my 3 jobs. And I knew I didn't want to do that, but that was the only thing that I could think of doing in order to make some money. But I knew real estate would work, but I didn't have an avenue how to get there. I didn't know anything about private lenders at the time, hard money lenders, like none of that at the time. So the only thing I knew was to be able to save money, go to these online platforms or the local foreclosure platforms or the tax delinquent platforms or the forfeited land commission platforms. That was all I ever knew, but I knew I needed money to be able to do that. I didn't know anything about business credit, business funding, none of this type of stuff. I'm talking about just a guy that just seen his parents buy one property every year to what do I do next? So now the only thing I know now is to be able to save money to be able to buy a property all cash, because that's how I saw my parents buy properties. They never used private lenders or anything like that. They never did cash out refinances, none of that type of stuff, So I just knew I had to be able to buy a property, and the only way I knew was to be able to save money because nobody wasn't going to give it to me. That's how I felt at the time.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
So
that's powerful.
I love the mindset that you had with you and your fiance. You was living basically off of 25% of your total income. Talk about that, because especially at the age of 26, because at the age of 26, we out there chasing women, like your friends at the strip club. There's just so many things you could have been doing. What was that mindset of sacrificing and learning the real estate space, learning the auction website? Like, talk about that real quick. Like, what was that shift in that mindset look like when you was 26?
Yeah, but the mindset.
Because I'm 27 right now, so I know how it is.
Hey, you know what I told you some years back, man? Way more than I was doing at 27. So, but this was, years back when I first saw you. So I was like, man, you doing an awesome job. You young as hell, man, and you're doing big things. But anyway, my mind shift, man, came from just running the streets and chasing women and having a good time and living life. But I was a realist with myself when I realized that I was using my job check to pay for gold bottles in the club. And then I realized that I was getting back into my Altima that my mom and dad bought for me. And I realized, hey, man, this ain't life. You are really living life right now, really fake. Like, you are really living fake right now. You buying these bottles and you trying to hope and pray that you make it to the next check. Ooh. So anyway, I got to the point of saying, you know what, man, this ain't cool. You got to be real with yourself. And myself told me that this is not cool. This is not the wave. So basically,
that shit is whack.
I told my homeboys, I say, man, we was all together and they thought I was playing. And I said, man, I love y'all, but after this weekend right here, man, it's gonna be the last time y'all see me for about 2 years. I say, because if a person go to prison for 2 years and live in prison, ain't no way in the hell I can't live free and sacrifice just being able to not spend money on dumb stuff. And that was just basically my mindset. I say, man, there's no way. I said, this is the most important time right now. See, seeing me in the car, thinking of what's next. Thinking of, crying in the car, hitting the steering wheel. I'm tired of this. I want to be better. I want to do more. And it just was me. My biggest enemy was me. And once I realized, like, man, stop crying, stop being and acting, having female ways and trying to blame other people. It ain't about that. You got to get yourself together, Josh. You got to get yourself together, because you know what? Ain't nobody promised to give you nothing. Nobody has to give you anything. You a grown man. You are a grown man. So you know what? I stayed home. I was doing quarantine before this quarantine right here hit. I stayed home. I was looking at everybody go on vacations. I was looking at everybody go on trips. I was looking at everybody do everything, and I had to continue to stay in my fiance ear, like, hey, look, just because you see other people doing stuff now, look, I got the money in the bank account that we can, but at the time right now, we are not doing anything. I need you to understand my vision. I need you to understand my vision, and we're going to be okay. And
tell me this, though. How did you get her to comply with understanding that vision when the flesh,
that is hard.
When the flesh was probably speaking in her ear, yelling like, yo, I want red bottoms. He got the red bottom money right now. How did you maintain that?
That's very hard for a lot of people. So
because that speaks to leadership. That speaks to leadership. You, as a man, how did you maintain that level of leadership, and how, or would you just say that your wife was just, just that solid of a female, or a woman?
Well, I tell you this. I think the biggest thing was, people don't believe things until they see it. So what happened was, with me being able to save money, I was letting her know that it's real. When I bought my first property, I was letting her know that it was real. She was really seeing me buy properties, but she wasn't getting the money like that. But at the same time, I made it believable because she was actually seeing the results of my action. So I wasn't staying home or I wasn't going on vacation or doing anything, and she not being able to see something. When she saw $10,000 in the bank account, when she saw $15,000 in the bank account, it was like, okay, I wasn't buying Gucci, Louis, I wasn't buying no clothes, shoes, anything. So she know that I was taking a major sacrifice. So I think to answer your question, it boils down to being able to show the woman your results, being able to show her something that you're doing. Just don't tell her you're doing it, show her. And then when she see it on the back end, she do believe in your vision then.
Wow. So tell me this, Josh. Tell me this, Josh. Yo, this I ain't gonna even lie to you. You blowing my mind right now. That's real talk. I'm like mind fucking blown. Real talk. But but here's the deal though. Here's the deal though, Josh. Like, so you said that you got into the BRRRR strategy, right? What was that trigger? I know that you said that the trigger was knowing that, okay, damn, I'm doing this all wrong because I'm saving up and I'm not using leverage. What was that trigger that said, man, fuck this? Like, I got to use some leverage. I got to use this BRRRR strategy. And what are some of the tools and the systems that you put in place to be able to make that happen? You mind speaking on that?
Yeah, so when I got to the point of saying, I needed to use the BRRRR strategy, basically I was going back flat broke again. So this is my third year in college. It's a 2-year school. So I had no more option, no more of trying to go another year of school. It was over. That was 2 years, and I had no third year. So basically, I want to say maybe I did some online researching, found a private lender, but my first one was not with a private lender. My first one was with a company called Movement Mortgage, and we did it on the traditional side. We did it on the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac side. So when we did it on the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac side, I was able then to get more money. However, that's not the way that we do it now. But when I first got started, did a cash out refinance on those 2 properties, put the money in my pocket, leveraged that. But from that point on, I started using, private lenders, and hard money lenders, and start leveraging my, my 20% or 15%. And a lot of people don't realize that you get experience. It's considered experience if you are able to fix a property up and do a cash out refinance. That's considered experience in the real estate investing world. So you don't have to always fix and flip a property to gain experience. You can do a cash out refinance, put a tenant in the property, rent the property out, do a cash out refinance, borrow 70 to 75% of the equity built up in the property, and then be able to put that in your pocket. So the biggest thing that helped me out the most was honestly the sacrifice that it took from the very beginning, that I was able to buy my properties cash. So with me being able to buy my properties cash from the very beginning, I was able then to have enough equity in my properties to continue to buy properties cash, because that's like the holy grail of single family homes. You want to be able to buy these properties all cash. If you buy them all cash, now you hiding on fees. You basically in good shape. You keeping yourself away from a lot of unnecessary fees.
Wow.
And that's basically it.
So basically you buy. So right now to this day, you still buy properties cash. You try not to even deal with no leverage at all. Is that kind of how you do that?
Well, it just depends. Just past auction right here, I bought 3 properties at the auction. So it's a big one that I bought for $188,000. So I may just use that property, pay 10% down on that property, because now I'm considered a tier 3 real estate investor. So I can pay 10% down on a property on the other side, not the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac side, on the almost like the Wall Street side of lending. But I would use maybe the 10% to buy that particular property, and then the other 2 properties, I'll buy them all cash, and then continue to roll them out, squeeze all the juice out of them with the cash out refinance if I want to keep them as keep them as for a long-term property, or if I want to fix and flip them. Just depends. One of them I know is probably going to be a rental. The other 2 big houses that I bought, they will be more so fix and flip properties. So I kind of keep everything kind of balanced.
And I know you said something about being like an athlete, right? And I know that you mentioned also that your parents were business people, which was dope that they were able to pass down those business lessons to you. I think that is just absolutely phenomenal. But can you speak on where did that discipline come from? Would you say it came more from your parents, or would you say it came more from your sports side, or did you just have that innate? Where did that come from? Because everybody ain't got that.
I would say it probably came from the sports. You know, being the #1 right-hand pitcher in the state, you know, I always felt like I'm the best. And I always just feel like, you know, when I got to a point of having nowhere to go, no job, anything like that, I felt pretty bad. You know what I mean? Because I knew where I was, where I came from, you know. So I would say the competitive nature came from the sports. I don't want to, I don't want to be second. I'm gonna fight, you know, because I told myself when I first started sacrificing, I said I'm gonna work hard any man alive 24 hours. And I think I probably damn near did it because I used to wake up in the morning and I used to wake up in the morning. I go work at the college job as the maintenance guy. I leave there, then I go to Advanced AutoZone. I leave Advanced AutoZone. I go home, take me a nap, and I go do the paper from 2 o'clock in the morning till like 6 in the morning. So like within 24 hours, I felt like I put in a lot of grind. I told myself the only way that I can be able to achieve greatness is to be able to outwork the next man, because that's all I knew at that point was work. You know, I never knew how to leverage a mind to make money like I know now. But at that point, all I knew then was I wanted to outwork everybody.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh,
That's
man.
that athlete syndrome right there.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
for real.
That never give up.
Man, that's powerful, man. So let me ask you this, man. I love, like you said, kind of that never give up. And when you, when you got to that point, you know, kind of like, and I don't want to call it the comfortable point, but you know, you and your lady, you know, like you said, now more further, like you said, at that point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to retire. Talk about, you know, right before you had that 33 mark, talk about that feeling, right? Talk about, you know, reflecting back on everything you did to get to that point.
Right. So basically it was a point where I was almost like basically kind of forced to retire. Um, I was working with the guy. He was he was an ex NFL player. He had his own commercial cleaning company, and what he did with the commercial cleaning company, another guy, which was his like business partner, he kind of liked what I was doing when it came to real estate and all that good stuff. He you know, he adored what I was basically doing. So he asked me. He said, "Look, I got an opportunity for you. Do you want to be an operation manager? You know, with my company?" The owner of the company played, you know, he was playing in the NFL. I want to say he was playing in the NFL then at the time. So I said, yeah, I'll take the opportunity. So I became an operations manager. Now, I worked that job maybe about 2 years and everything was going good. I was still investing in real estate at this time. Um, and I've done, you know, a couple flips at the time. So I was still, you know, comfortable. I was still good. So from like 31, 32, everything was rolling smooth. 33 came. And then it was a point where they had a fallout. And it got to a point where he wanted to bring a whole staff in. But they never said that, hey, look, we're gonna let you go. We're going to, but I could tell the energy. The energy felt like, you know, my time is coming. You know, in a matter of time, they're gonna basically fire me. So my pride, and it all worked out in the perfect way because right before this situation happened, I just had a flip. I can't remember exactly how much. I think it was like 70 something $1,000. It was a flip that I just did, and it
Oh
happened
my
right at the
God.
time. It happened right at the time, and I said, you know what? I called them in the office, both of them, and I said, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and part ways, and you know, wish you guys the best. So I took that money, invested into basically my own my own cleaning franchise, my own cleaning business, along with, you know, continuing to invest in real estate, flip properties. So when I say retire, I mean more so retire from being on anybody else's clock, being on my own clock. That was my retirement. That was my, I don't have to go back to the 9 to 5 to the workforce, you know, but of course I'm still working for myself, you know, but that was my biggest thing when I say retired. I'm basically retired. You know, I don't have to go back to
Oh,
work.
that's dope. That's
How did
dope.
that feel? how that feel to part ways with the job? How did that feel in that moment?
Well, at the moment, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a little scary, and I told myself, I say, look, man, you got to put your big boy drawers on now because it's only you, and you got to make it do what it do. You've been doing this for a while, so you know all you got to do now is continue to fix and flip these properties like you've been doing. You got your money in the bank, So hey, you're gonna start your own, cleaning franchise, So hey, you have really no reason. You're getting rental income galore. You know what I mean? Because I'm not getting the full rental income because just like I know when you cash out refinance properties, you're not gonna get the whole full money. So I'm getting an average $350, $400 a month off of each property. So I'm comfortable with that. And I said, you know what? I have no reason because it's kind of shocking and it's sad because in our mind frame we feel so comfortable getting that check on Friday. And to go from not getting no check on Friday to being able to eat and kill your own food to survive. Yeah. It was a different world, and I was a little nervous at first. But once I started, getting in the groove and fixing and flipping properties, my commercial cleaning company doing well, started investing in other things, So it became easier, But the first 3 or 4 months, it was kind of scary, I must say.
So Josh, you mentioned the commercial cleaning business, right? So what is that? Can you break down what is that commercial cleaning business? Why did you start it? How does it work inside of all of the businesses that you already got? Like, because I know some people like to have things vertically integrated into whatever systems they have. Like, let's say, for instance, if they have a cleaning business, is because they do. A construction business is because they do fix and flips, or because they got rentals. You know what I mean? So how did you fit that into what you are already doing, and what was your rationale behind that move?
Right. So I started my first commercial cleaning company in 2015. What I did was I partnered up with a company named JanPro. So I was with JanPro. I remember paying JanPro like $5,500 because right then I was starting to leak into becoming my own boss. So I started my own commercial cleaning company with JanPro. I paid like $5,500, and they was guaranteed to, find enough work for you to be able to clean, so you can get paid basically one time a month. So I'm like, well, because in the midst of it all, I'm still trying to figure out what can I put my money in to continue to, try to make some money. So in 2015, I started doing that, cleaning toilets and cleaning poop, all that type of stuff, man. And I had experience. So I started working myself, every day, working every day. And doing that, then, with the years going on, and then I was always in that industry. It's kind of weird, but I was just always in that industry since 2015. And I found out a lot about that industry, and I started to like that industry. Then I told myself, well, I wanted to be my own boss in that industry. So then I was able to start my own franchise. Then I, invested $30,000 and start a franchise.
Wow. And what kind of revenue would you say that cleaning business has yielded you so far?
Well, right now I bring in about $21,000 a month.
Nice. He said it's so confident.
Just look.
Yeah, man, because we got huge country clubs, college dorms in Columbia, South Carolina. We got huge college dorms there. We have huge, and my team, they do an awesome job, and I just thank God for it.
How big is your team for the cleaning company?
Right now I have 15 employees.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, 15 employees right now.
Oh, man, that's dope. So since we are, again, the topic, the name of the podcast, Real Shit Real Estate, we always want to keep it just real. Can you talk about a big lesson you learned in real estate, right? One of the non-success stories that either you turn into a success story or, just a deal that just kind of just went way left, and that way somebody can kind of learn from your mistakes.
Oh man, something that went real left. I would say the things went, let's say, sort of left, but I was still able to bounce back out of it. Was using a private lender, using a company that I'm familiar with, and closed the deal. And I didn't realize that I didn't purchase this property on a 30-year fixed mortgage. I purchased this property on a 12-month mortgage. So basically, it was like a
Ooh.
fix and flip type of mortgage. So then, come to find out on the 11th, I'm receiving emails and I'm receiving phone calls saying that basically all the money is due. So I'm saying, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I did a cash out refinance on this property. I didn't do a buy and hold type of loan on it. So they basically say, oh, sorry, but basically know what you signed. Um, so that could have went real left because they wanted all the money up front if I wasn't able to put in an extension. But I was able to put in an extension, and then we was able to do a cash out refinance on the property. So it turned out good. It turned out good, but it could have been a disaster, and I could have lost my property.
Wow, man, that's
So,
important. I think
so the
everybody
number one thing I'm
listening.
saying on that, yeah. So the thing I'm saying on that is just make sure that you know what you're signing, regardless if you have, your broker, regardless if you have your attorney right there. Because what happened with me was my attorney was so used to seeing me all the time to the point of it was more so just kind of skimming over the contract, just skimming over things. So I found out that all this, if they're in a rush, I'm in a rush. We're not skimming over nothing. We're gonna go over every single line so I can understand what I'm signing from that point. So the biggest lesson learned is to always make sure you know what you're signing.
Cool. Real
Wow,
talk.
that's a big lesson right there. That's
Wow.
a big lesson.
So, you said you just focus on rentals in the beginning. What made you transition to fix and flip? Like, why do that?
I think the biggest thing that made me transition to fix and flip, I'm gonna be honest with you, was I remember my wife, she was bringing it up to me. She was like, I think you should start fixing and flipping property. I was like, well, no, I mean, I'm okay right now. I'm buying properties, putting a tenant in it. I'm fixing them up. I'm cashing out, refinancing. Like I'm okay with that. But then it got to a point where, even though we cash out refinances, when you do those, you don't owe no taxes on those properties. You don't have to pay no capital gain tax, is what I'm saying. But I was kind of stuck in that mode, but I realized I would rather fix and flip. Also, I need to bring that to the table. Now I can use that money and then really move forward without owing anybody. So I got in a position where I felt like, being able to fix and flip, it would have bring me faster money, quicker money, being able for me to able to scale my business and scale my rental portfolio. Because one of my things that I do is when I flip a property, I buy a property all cash and I use some more of the funds to then put a down payment on my next fix and flip. Or I just buy a property all cash and do a cash out refinance. So I just do different things. Just depends on the nature of the game.
100. Man, we
I
got a
like it.
question in
I
the
like it.
audience, man. We got a question. So Devorah says, so what
Okay.
other types of businesses are you looking to get into in the future?
Man, I'm partnered up with I'm not sure. Well, y'all probably know him. His name Joshua Crisp. Joshua Crisp. So I just bought
Yeah,
a Amazon store. Um,
nice.
so I bought that. Paid him $30,000 for that store. Everything is hands off. They do everything. And the App Store in 4 months on the low side, you're looking at 10 grand a month.
Sheesh. And so you paid
That
So
sounds
I
like a
just
good
be
30,000.
ass
staying on that
return.
money.
Yeah, so you paid 30,000 and doing 10,000 a month in profit.
Right, right. I haven't seen it yet, but
It's coming.
It's coming.
that's what I'm feeling. Yeah, yeah. I got a lot of confidence in him and his team, so I feel that I feel it's coming for that other stream of income on that, and I also invested in restaurants as far as having a percentage of certain restaurants, things like that. So That's pretty much it, man. All in a nutshell is real estate investing, buying and holding properties, fixing and flipping properties, and I use different platforms. I use my online platforms. My platforms is like websites like auction.com, hubzoo.com, hudsonandmarshall.com. I use those websites, look those properties up by the county. I'm gonna repeat them again just in case somebody was writing it down. Auction.com, that's AUCTION.com. The next one is hubzoo.com, HUBZU.com. The other one is hudsonandmarshall.com, that's HUDSONMARSHALL.com, and exome.com, XOME.com. So I use my online platforms, and then I also use my local foreclosure platforms, like the local foreclosure auctions. In my markets, they're pretty much the first Monday of every month. Those are bank-owned properties that basically they give to the county in order for them to be able to sell. I use a tax delinquent sale auction. I use the tax deed, tax lien auction, depends on what state you're in. Some tax lien states, some states are tax deeds. And then I also use the forfeited land commission sale properties. Those are properties that didn't get bidded on in tax delinquent or the tax deed or lien sale, but basically the tax lien sale. The properties that didn't get bidded on in the tax lien sale go to the forfeited land commission. And then when they get to the forfeited land commission, that's when you can go to the county courthouse and basically you can bid on those properties with a sealed bid. You don't know what nobody else is bidding on those properties, but that's what you have to go with. And if you're the bidder, they'll take your bid and basically you get the property. But I'm gonna tell you a caveat that a lot of people run into a problem with. When they get the list of these properties, the properties are presented to them with a tax map number. They don't give you the addresses. They give you a tax map number. So with a lot of investors, they get lost, they get confused, and they don't know now how to be able to identify this property because it's the tax map number, not the address. So in order to be able to transfer this property from a tax map number to an address, you would have to use the GIS mapping system. And that stands for Geographic Information System. Use the GIS mapping system, every county got it. So you can type in your county, type in GIS mapping, and what it is a overall broad view of all the properties that's in your area. So basically you can type in and identify and look up a property from the address, from the tax map number, from the name, whatever. So basically if you type in the tax map number, which you got from the county, the property is going to show up on the geographic information system in the little square box, the little lot size. You click on the lot size, it's going to give you all the information, who's the owner, where the owner stay at, all your tax information about the property, if the taxes are paid up, just everything you want to know about the property, square footage, the lot size, everything. So that's how you would turn the tax map number into an address. And then now you'll be able to identify the property that you want to bid on in the tax lien sale, because a lot of people don't know how to transfer those two. They're just stuck. They're like, oh man, I see these, but it's the tax map number. I don't know how to transfer this. So that's how you transfer that, by using the GIS mapping system.
Wow. So tell me
dropping a lot of games.
Yes, I was about to say he just dropped game on here, boy.
Big facts. So tell me this: have you used any wholesalers before, Josh? Do you use any wholesalers to buy properties?
I do. I use wholesalers here and there. I don't say I use them a lot because I'm not even going to lie. I feel like a lot of wholesalers, it's getting oversaturated with a lot of unexperienced. Yeah, a lot of unexperienced wholesalers. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, that's y'all lane. Now y'all bring me a deal, I know it's a solid deal. You know what I'm saying? You guys got experience. You know what I mean? But you got a lot of guys who they have no experience, but they just throwing numbers out there to catch buyers. And to me, I look like I get a lot of deals. I get a lot of emails all the time, and when I look at the property, I look at the area, I'm like, nah, there's no way. You know, there's no equity. There's not enough equity for me to be able to, you know, get a solid return on this property. Yeah.
Wow.
I got you. So tell us about this course that you got, man. I see you got a school behind you, man. Talk to us about that real quick.
Yeah, man. So the Real Estate Shark Academy, it's something that I pretty much came up with last year, because basically I was to the point of, you know, I was always posting checks. I was doing all that type of stuff. And then my wife said, baby, you know what? You need to, you need to be start showing people how to do this, you know, rather than just, you know, posting checks, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a lot of people not too happy with you by, you know, I was more so considering it as far as marketing and advertising who I am and my brand. But when she brought it to me, it was more so like, hey, you might be starting something where people could be hating on you. You know what I mean? Because you're showing them the money, you're showing them this, but you're not teaching nobody this. You know, so right. I started something, man, and it came up with a course, and it's doing pretty good. You know, it's not no big major deal type of course, because I really wanted to be more so stable on teaching people the real deal, real life, as far as investing in real estate as a cash buyer. You know, everything you're gonna need. So in the course, Oneil, we talk about being able to help you with credit. We start you from the bottom end. So we help you with building your credit. Then once we help you with building your credit, then you have all access to our private lenders. Once you get all access to our private lenders, now you're basically in the door. You're basically good to go, because now only thing they're gonna look at is the credit score. You know what I mean? They're not gonna look at no bankruptcies and all the other type of stuff like you would see on the traditional side. So on this side, all we need is the score. So once I get your score up, or I have a lot of my students, they go to TradelineSupply.com and just buy a trade line. You become an AAU on a person's credit card. So now your score is going to shoot up. It's going to shoot up for 2 months, because that's how long the trade lines last. So once they shoot up for 2 months, now you basically in position to be able to start investing in real estate. So now you have the knowledge, but you may not have the money. So if you don't have the money, now we show you how to leverage your credit in order to be able to help you get money, to be able to, invest in your first real estate property, your first buy and hold, or your first fix and flip. You know, so we understand how to get you to a certain point with your credit. Once you get there with your credit, now we're going to show you how to leverage your credit into cash. And once we get your credit into cash, then you basically you're ready to get started now to be able to invest in real estate. So we teach you about business funding, we teach you about business credit, all that type of stuff, to be able to get you at least be able to be in position to be able to put a down payment on it. Because a lot of people just don't have, you know, $20,000 to be able to get started. But if you're in a position to have your credit where it needs to be, we can get you
got access to all the money.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Josh, hey man, wow. Y'all need to follow Josh right now, man. Realestate.shark.
Yes.
All the gems and jewels he dropped tonight. Y'all be crazy if y'all don't use this. Man, from the beginning, he talked to us about mindset, dedication, and what he wants to do. Look where he is now. He quit his job at 33. White, you might be still working. There's a chance to get, to be a full-time entrepreneur. You got to be dedicated, sacrifice, leave your friends at the club, focus on what you're trying to do. So, man, I hope y'all learned something tonight. Take the jewels that he dropped. Go look on YouTube. Go get a book. Learn information. Go on his Instagram. Shoot him a DM. Buy his course.
Yeah, I got one
Let's
more
go to the
jewel
next
too,
level, man.
Oneil.
Who we got?
I got one more jewel I wanted to give, man. And I think I mentioned this to you guys in Clubhouse that one time. But property preservation keys. So in order to be able to look inside of a bank-owned property, you can get the property preservation keys. You can check out a website called MFS Supplies, mfssupplies.com. Get your property preservation keys, because that was a company that I had before too. It was a property preservation company. And what we did was we got the properties fixed up and ready for the banks. We got them preserved for the banks. So instead of trying to kick a door in, trying to lift up a window and all that type of stuff to look at the investment property, the inside of the investment property, we use the property preservation keys. We walk inside the property, I can look around, see what all need to be done. So now I got a leverage and an upper hand on the bid the auction.
Wow.
Hey.
Gems.
Say that website one more time. MFS Supply.
It's yeah, M as in Mark, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, supply.com. And go and get the property preservation keys.
Hey, man, we love it. We appreciate your time. Everybody, we love y'all. We see y'all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Peace.
Absolutely.